Hello, my darlings. Today we're going to talk about how to cite websites for the research paper. There's going to be three things you need to have up. The first one is the website that you plan on using for your research. The second thing is this research facts blank document, and that's going to be where you put all your information, where you put your citations and your facts. And then finally, the source outline document, and that shows you the information that you need. So scroll down to the website with author or website without author. And the very first thing you need to figure out is, do you have an author? Most websites do not. If you don't have one, don't stress. I know that history.com and biography.com both say they have an author, but it's not an actual person. It's, the history.com editors. So you can't use that as an author. Just skip it. There's no worries if you have to. I do have an author. I have Ethan Bilby. So I'm going to put the author's last name first, comma, and then the first name, Ethan. But as you will soon notice, anytime you have something that separates one piece of information from the next piece of information, it is always separated by a period. So after we type anything, after that complete thought, make sure that you add in that period. You will lose points for not having in those periods. All right, according to this document, and at this point, website without author, notice you skip the author part, but from here on out, it's the exact same thing. So the next thing we're going to be taking a look at is the title of the web page in quotes. So web pages and websites are easily confused. The web page is going to be the individual page where you get your information. It's probably going to be closely related to your article. So Ben Franklin bio would be the page. The overall website is the title of the whole shebang. And so that might be biography.com. Or if you're doing Pete Rose bio would be your web page. The whole shebang would be ESPN. For me, I have Will We Ever Actually Cure Cancer? Let's say I was researching cancer, so I'm going to put that in. Now, some websites with some web pages, even legit ones, do not capitalize things. You need to make sure that you capitalize them. That is another place where a lot of people lose points. After the web page, then you're going to notice that there is a period, but also that you go on to the site title, and it is underlined. So we have the website title, which for me is Real Clear Science. Look over here on this tab, tends to be a place where they have the title of the website. Sometimes they have it here in the tab. Sometimes you have to scroll all the way down to the copyright. So check there as well. A lot of times people will copyright their website to their company, to their name, and those can be the same thing. So mine is Real Clear Science. Remember to have that period. I gotta have that period here too. In order, if you don't know how to underline, it is the U underline button. All right, now that's the title of the website. The next thing you're going to notice is you need the title of the sponsoring organization. So this is the company that owns the information. If your website is a .gov, it might be the US government. A lot of times web pages and sponsoring organizations, websites and sponsoring organizations will be the same thing. Because if you have a website, it makes sense to name it after your company. So for me, it's copyrighted to Real Clear Science. So that's what I'm going to use, Real Clear Science. Now, yes, it is the exact same thing as the web page. Again, that makes sense. So the New York Times could be your site title. The New York Times would also be your sponsoring organization. So, you know, the best place to look for the sponsoring organization, look at the About Us button, look for the copyright. Any of those places are places you can look. The next thing you're going to notice we need is the number of pages printed followed by PP. So, PP. To find that out, click Control P and pretend like you're going to print out this page. And at the top, you're going to see 6 sheets of paper. Now, if you scroll down, you might see that some of those last pages are advertisements. That's up to you. If it's all ads, you don't need to include it. Mine is ads and stuff like that. So I could probably put 5. I could also put 6. I don't think that much matters. That's kind of a gray area. So I'm going to put 5 PP. I'm going to put a period. So that's how you do that. Now, some people say the period is the abbreviation for PP. You need a separate one to show you are switching out information. Some people say, nope, 1 is enough. It looks weird to have 2. That's up to you. Just make sure you have at least 1. The next thing you need is the date the site was created. And here we're looking for any type of date, preferably the most recent. So I'm lucky I have September 19th, 2019. That is the date it was posted. Sometimes you have a date and a time. You don't need the time. Sometimes you just have a month and a year. Sometimes you don't even have that. Sometimes you just have the copyright year. Whatever you have, use. And if you don't have anything, which is normal, especially for government websites, feel free to just skip it. So I'm going to put September 19th, 2019. And if you want to abbreviate that, you may do so. If you want to put the slashes, that's fine too, or you can spell it out like I did. The next thing you're going to need is the medium of access. Now, back in the day, there used to be floppy disks. There would be encyclopedias on CD-ROMs, or you could say a book or a newspaper. If you're citing a website, that means you use the internet web. So what you're going to put here is web. So put in that period, don't forget that period, and then you can capitalize it, you can just have it lowercase, but put in web dot because you got it from the internet. And then finally, the last thing you need is the date you accessed it, which is today's date, whatever that happens to be. For me, that is September 19th, 2019. So I'm going to copy and paste that there. Now, after you have done all this, it is time to do your facts. And your facts, you have some options. You can paraphrase, you can summarize, and you can copy paste. So let's say I really wanted this statement. I can copy it and I can paste it in, but I'm going to make sure that I put it in quotes so that I remember that this is not my piece of information. After every fact, I'm also going to make sure that I put the author, what is it again? Bill B, and the page number, which it would be probably page 1, and you can just estimate that on websites. The period goes last. There's no punctuation between the citation and the last quotation, so that is correct. That is correctly done. And once again, I put it in quotes so I remember that it's not mine. Now, let's say that you don't have an author, which again happens all the time. You are going to use the title in quotes. And then once again, estimate your page number. If you have more questions about how to do your facts, please let me know. And there will also shortly be a video on how to use the database, which is quick and easy. Thank you for your time.